Timbersports Rookie World Championships showcase the best and upcoming talent in the Timbersports world. It sets the scene for the future of the sport that has grown to a global competition series now in over 25 countries. Over the past few years, Australia has played a pivotal role in the Rookie World Championships. In 2016, St Johann in Austria was a location that saw Andrew Kelly play second to eventual winner Ben Cumberland.
Kelly, super quick, couple of final blows. Kelly is through. Good time for him.
I feel all right. Underhand didn't go to plan. Chip sort of hung in the places I wanted to hit, but you get that, that's wood chopping.
In 2017, Australian rookie Blake Marsh attempted to go one better. He blitzed the field in the standing block.
Meanwhile, Blake Marsh, he's got a pretty quick pace going on. He's moved over to the other side already. This could be a good time. Oh, wow, look at that time for Blake Marsh. 18:02.
And then again in the underhand.
He is so quick with the movement of the axe. He gets through there in an amazing time of 17:83.
But again, Blake placed second to Swedish axeman Ferry's Fun.
Yeah, I'm happy with the performance of my last standing block and underhand, but it's pretty annoying when you just lose by a point or
This year, it's reigning Australian rookie champion Dan Gurr from Tasmania's turn to take on the best.
There's a lot of pressure being the rookie for Australia. The last two rookies have just dropped short of winning, so hopefully I can be the one who finally brings it home for Australia.
Dan Gurr won his spot at the Australian Rookie Championships last year. He beat a quality field in a four-discipline competition to take the top spot at the end of the day.
Yeah, I had a consistent performance all day and happy to come away with the win.
He's one of the best axemen that we've got up and coming through the ranks in Australia, and he's going to do the country proud.
This qualified him for the Rookie World Championship in Marseille, France.
I'm quite honoured to have won it and honoured to be representing my country.
But for every champion, there is a team behind them, and Dan is lucky enough to have his dad, Matt, in his corner.
Daniel's got big shoes to fill. His father, Matthew, is one of the greatest axemen and woodchoppers of all time, and he's been great in the Still Timbersports series.
Matt still contests as one of the top 8 in the Australian Timbersports series. As the oldest competitor at 52, he no doubt will be passing on his experience to his son.
I think he's got what it takes to be as good as his old man. It's just going to take a few more years, but this is the first step on that journey.
Yeah, Dan's a second-generation woodchopper. The whole family's involved in woodchopping. They're very passionate about the sport and they love the sport, you know, and that's why Dan's such a great competitor.
Daniel's going to step up to the plate and bring home that first Rookie World Championships to Australia.
As a team, Dan will now join pro competitor Mitch Argent and coach Jamie Head to travel halfway around the world. They will fly from Melbourne to the training camp location in Holland, where they will settle into the European conditions.
Before we come away to a World Championships, we like to go for a training camp for a day. It helps get over the jet lag. Also, the wood over here is a little bit softer and gives our guys a chance to test the axes, test the saws and get ready for the main event.
For rookie Dan Gurr, he had a taste of the international scene last year at the World Championships in Norway.
It's been beneficial going away with the chopperoos just to see how they do things and just get that experience to know what you need to do to be the best in the world.
That experience leading into this year's campaign could be short-lived.
A little bit of a rookie mistake from Daniel straight off. You know, he's keen to put one of his new axes into the wood and he's hit a knot which has caused a bit of damage.
With the Chopperoos settling into their training, the big event is only days away.
Daniel looking very good here. The time might even be really solid. Wow, the fastest time of the day.
The The Chopperoos have landed on European soil. And rookie champion Dan Gurr may have just put a dampener on his still Timbersports Rookie World Championship campaign.
So Dan's just broken an axe in his second block at training. He actually got a good axe out, brand new axe out, and used it sort of without my knowledge. Would have probably liked to see him cut a few more logs and get his mind around the wood and how it was cutting before he actually started using his good axes.
For Dan Gurr, having the experience of Jamie Head in his corner will definitely be an advantage.
It's a good thing with having Jamie here as well. Not only is he a coach, he's very good with all the equipment. You know, he files his own saws and he grinds a lot of axes. So to have him here, he can now just get that axe back into working shape, and it's going to be still good to go.
It's good to have Jamie on the trip. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's been in Timbersports for a very long time.
Jamie Head's been one of the most consistent competitors in our Still Timbersports Australian series. He's been on the Chopperoos a number of times. He was captain of the Chopperoos when we won twice in a row. So he's got the calibre to be a good mentor for these two young blokes that haven't really had much experience on their own on the world stage.
At the training camp, I'll be focusing on the two sawing disciplines, especially the single buck. It's one of my weaker disciplines. Jamie Head's one of the best single buck sawyers in Australia, if not the world.
So once you get it to there and you're happy with how straight it is, right, then step around in position and get perfectly in position.
I haven't been competing in single buck for many years, and generally it's an event for the bigger guys to go well in. So I'm not very big, and for me to move that big saw takes a lot of effort.
Keep on, and then push them right out. Yeah, Daniel Gurr's a great little competitor. He's a super technical chopper. He's quite a small athlete, and he does everything very technical because he just doesn't have the brute strength of the other guys to get him the results. Yeah, Dan's got to work on his single saw for his rookie championship. It's the thing that he's probably weakest at, and it's probably one of the things that Australia's been quite weak at over the past few years. Good mate, keep it flat, come on. Keep it flat. Perfect. Yeah, that was better. He knows that there's a plan in there that he needs to saw in both disciplines really well. 15 seconds to warm up your saw.
But for Dan, the single buck is not the only discipline that poses an issue to his campaign. The pressure of a solid stock saw run also hangs in the balance.
Watching Blake and Andrew the last 2 years in the stock saw, and the times that they put up weren't quite good enough.
It's amazing how much these saws bounce all over the place with those powerful motors. Good start by both these guys. Looks like good cookies on both sides for that first cut. Now it's going to come close, but it looks like it's going to be Blake Marsh. Oh no, excuse me. Scott Folks gets that one in 12:26.
Stock saw, that's been their costly event. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure there for me to go out there and perform well on the stock saw. I know I have to perform well in that event to have a chance to win overall.
She's soft.
Jamie's given me some advice on how to run the saw through the wood.
It's sort of a little bit better through the top, but you nearly bogged it here.
Yeah.
So you didn't sort of apply that weight out the top. Just as you're coming out, you could just get a little bit more aggressive. Just
when the log's getting smaller.
Just from, once you start getting smaller.
And what sort of a pressure I need to apply to the saw to make it go through the wood as fast as possible. Stock saw is probably one of my better events. I've always been right up there in the places in the rookie championships in Australia. So hopefully I can put up another good run here and it should put me in good position.
With the extra single buck training, will it pay off for Dan at the Rookie World Championships?
Daniel Girk looks like he's been training because he is going through this cookie like nothing. Wow!
Still Timbersports, brought to you by Still, voted #1 for quality garden power tools, better still. 11 Workwear, official clothing partner of the Still Timbersports Australian Series. And Still Timbersports, a proud major partner of the Movember Foundation, Stop Men Dying Young. 11 Workwear, official clothing partner of the Still Timbersports Australian Series. And Still Timbersports, a proud major partner of the Movember Foundation, Stop Men Dying Young. Dan Gurr is representing Australia at the Still Timbersports Rookie World Championship. He's in Horn, Holland for the Australian Chopperoos training camp and has been put through his paces in the lead-up to the competition ahead.
Technically, Daniel Gurr's one of the best wood choppers out there. Despite his size, he can cut the blocks as good as the big guys. Being small for Daniel means he can't get as much power into each hit, but it means that he's got to make that up on technical ability, and he does that by far.
At the training camp, helping Daniel with his single sawing, he's been quite good. He's listened to everything I've said, he's tried everything, and we've gone from probably sawing fairly average to quite a high standard. In the past, with the other couple of boys that have been to the Rookie Championships, they've been a little bit probably weak within their sawing, and especially the stock saw. Daniel Gurr's a great little stock sawyer. The event really suits him. He's quite a small, nimble guy, which enables him to get down to the saw quite quickly and get it back to the wood. He's an arborist by trade, so he's using chainsaws all the time. So it's probably one of his strongest events, and it's going to have to be here in the championships.
The Chopperoos now move onto the event site where they will travel from Dusseldorf in Germany to Marseille on the French Riviera for the competition. Marseille is the country's second greatest city and the third greatest metropolitan range after Paris. The city was the most essential exchanging hub and a crucial business port of the French Empire. It plays host to this year's Still Timbersports Rookie World Championship, where the best Timbersports rookies from the competing nations will battle to be the champion. Those rookies who are going to vie for the Still Timbersports Rookie World title are powerhouse Jack Eason from Great Britain, the Italian stallion and title contender Michael Delpin, US collegiate champion, the confident Chaz Haas, looking to keep the title in Sweden again this year, Emil Hansen, the rampaging Canadian in Thomas Henderson, Jan Kamir Jr. from the Czech Republic, local Frenchman and definitely the crowd favourite Lucas Schott, and Dan Gurr from Australia, who is looking to bring home our first Rookie World title, starting with the stock saw. The Still stock saw is the first of our sawing events. Placing both hands on the trunk of the 40-centimetre block, athletes must reach for their chainsaws on the sound of the gun and cut two perfect cookies within the allocated 10 centimetres of wood or face the dreaded DQ.
All right, stand A on the left side of the stage, stand B on the right side. Wearing the blue and white shirt is Lucas Schott from France. He will be on stand B to the right-hand side, and Thomas Henderson with the Canadian red and black shirt on the left-hand side. Now what they're doing right now is just marking their lineups for when their saw contacts with the wood. They want to have a good first contact. There's first a downstroke by the saw, then they have to follow up with an upstroke. They have a few seconds to warm up their saws now to make sure that no carbon deposits are going to prevent the saw, from starting cleanly. These are really dependable saws, so there's never really been a big problem there, but you never know, just to be safe, and here we go.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, good start by both of these guys. It looks like Henderson is a little bit behind here as Lucas has a really good cut there, and it looks like both cuts are pretty clean. Henderson slowing down at the end of that upstroke cut. So we'll see as the judges check to make sure both cookies are good and complete, which is very, very important here. And it looks like both cuts are good on both of these guys. All right, our next heat coming out onto the stage will be Chas Haas from the USA and Jack Eason from Great Britain. Chas marking very carefully with a red grease pen. And as I mentioned, the guys get a few seconds to warm up their saws to make sure that everything is running well.
Athletes, ready! Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Great start by Jack Eason. He's got himself a really good first cut by the looks of it here, and he did not waste any time getting back on that upward stroke. Let's hope his cuts are good. Really close to the line by Jack Eason. That might be a penalty there. We'll have to wait and see. Andy Hall going over to check his. Bart Janssen checking the other side. Wow, that came really close to the line for Jack Eason, but he had a great time by the looks of it.
Coming up, Dan takes on the field in the first event, the stock saw.
Go!
All right, good start by both of these guys. It looks like Daniel Gurr was very quick on the start.
Eleven Workwear, official clothing partner of the Stihl Timbersports Australian Series. And Stihl Timbersports, a proud major partner of the Movember Foundation, Stop Men Dying Young. We're in Marseille, and the Australian rookie champion Dan Gurr is preparing for the first event at the Stihl Timbersports Rookie World Championships.
The strategy is to go out there and put up a really good stock saw run, and just be consistent in the rest of the events, and hopefully have a smooth single buck run, and everything should go well.
After 3 heats, Dan now has his chance to get off to a good start.
In the stock saw, I think the winning time will be around 11 seconds mark, but if I can get under 12 seconds, it should get me enough points to be in the first few places.
All right, here come our next athletes. From Italy, Michael Delpin on side A of the stage, left-hand side. And from Australia, Daniel Gurr. He'll be on the B side of the stage. Michael Delpin measuring it up really close on that first cut there. We'll see if he can really follow that line as they warm up their saws here just before their first hit. I have to say that both Italy and Australia have been producing some really fantastic timber sports athletes. In particular, Australia has some fantastic axemen out there as well as sawyers. So let's see how they do here. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Daniel Gurr with a good start there. Michael Delpin, he is, whoa, it's close. Michael Delpin slightly at the disadvantage on the upstroke, but looks like Delpin's caught up, and he's beaten him just by a notch. Oh my goodness, what a great comeback by Michael Delpin over Daniel Gurr. Daniel Gurr was very quick on the start and got through that first cut faster than Michael Delpin, but Michael Delpin had just a smoother upstroke. So let's look back at this heat in slow-mo. And right there, he just got right back on board that cut. Bringing it back up very smooth and strong. And you can see he was a good second to a second and a half ahead of Daniel Gurr on the upstroke.
At the end of the first discipline, Dan Gurr sits in 5th position while Italian Michael Delpin takes the full 8 points to the top of the leaderboard. With 3 disciplines to go before the Still Timbersports Rookie World Champion is crowned, can Australian Dan Gurr rise up the leaderboard?
Daniel Gurr, 19 years old, coming out of Deloraine, Tasmania in Australia. Daniel looking very good here. The time might even be really solid. This final blow by Daniel is just spectacular. Daniel Gurr keeping the flow going.
Will he be Australia's first Rookie World Champion? Tune in next time for some more Still Timbersports action.
Wow! What a time by Daniel Gurr.